Hey there, welcome back to our channel. Let's continue with our series. In the previous episode, we have implemented the message broker service in our order service, right? So if you go to the order service and you can see inside the Express app, so we have introduced one function that is called initialize broker. And this initialize broker is it's coming from the broker service. So why broker service? Because we just try to hand it over the responsibility to a particular class or a particular module. Anything comes to the publishing or maybe subscribing, everything has to be responsible for that particular module, right? As an example, this broker service, where we are initializing, where we are connecting our producer, connecting our consumer, and eventually we are subscribing to that particular topic, right? So you can see one application can have a multiple subscription as well as. So that's why we have added this custom function that is called message broker subscribe to that order event, and in similar way maybe we can implement additional events as well as an example, this order event may be listening to payment. All right, so then we can say order payment events. So again, we can maybe this specific handle subscription only for order events, maybe we can just go ahead and create another handler for here to listening to payments, right? So each and every message going to be processed individually, and because this consumer can listen to that particular thing accordingly, right? So these are the things we can do. And another thing you can see here in the broker service, we have added to a particular sending or maybe canceling the order, right? All those things we have added individually as well as. So as many as you can, if you have multiple events and need to fire, then you can go ahead and create your all these functions accordingly, right? So broker service is pretty much good at this point. Right now we are going to move forward to this catalog service. So in this episode we are going to cover the message broker implementation in the catalog service. And if you order service, if you can see here, this is pretty much we are doing everything in functional programming way, right? So there are no any kind of class involved right here. And maybe only a repository we have added something like similar to class, but it's not purely class. You can see like we have used the types, right? So there are no any kind of concrete class involved right here. So everything is doing in functional way. But by comparing this order service, if you see in the catalog service, we are not doing the pure functional programming right here. If you see here in the server, we are starting the server, then we are going to the Express app. And if you go to the catalog routes, right? So here you can see we have just created our catalog service right there. All right. So if you go to the catalog service, then definitely we can see a lot of stuff right there, right? So where we have added plenty of stuff. Maybe we have not updated all this stuff with the latest source code. So let me pull it in all the latest source code. Then we can continue from there, right? All right. So right now my source code is up to date with the GitHub, right? So let's try to go ahead and continue with our catalog service. So right now inside the catalog service, as you can see, we inside the source directory, we don't have any broker right here exist, right? So the similar way we can use the broker configurations that is we have added in the order service. So that is not mandatory. You need to use this similar kind of like source code right here. So what we can do, we can just create a kind of common module that is going to share between these two services. Maybe we can extract all the broker source code from here, and we can just create a kind of another npm module. And inside that module, we can update everything, then it's gonna work, right? So this is the convenient way where you can share the modules between microservices, right? But that is not necessarily like, you need to use the modules like, between sharing between microservices, rather than keeping all these things like together to have a kind of dependencies, right? So we're not following that right now because I don't want to stress this whole series too long, because there are only 4 episodes left to wrap it up this whole series. So we don't want to, maybe we can discuss this module, like sharing module things in a separate video. Sometimes maybe I'll just record another videos how we can do that thing. Maybe I can do that. But anyway, so let's go ahead rather than deviating the topic. So here, what we can do, let's try to grab this broker directory, all right? Just to copy this directory, all right? Add it to our source here, all right? So we don't want to share this module for a while, right? So go to inside here, right? Inside this catalog service source, inside util, and just paste it here, right? So inside this broker, couple of things we need to make the changes, right? Because first of all, we don't want this API for a while because there are no any kind of API call is going to be needed for the catalog service. So we are considering this catalog service as a kind of inventory service as well, because we don't have additional inventory service. It's up to you, like, how many services you can introduce for your application based on your team size, based on the application complexity. You can do that one. But as of now, let's do it this way, right? So what we can do, we will be resolving all these errors quickly. But one thing we need to do from here, let's go to order service again, go to our types. If you go and see the types, like the subscription types, right? So these are the things going to be needed. So what we are going to do, let's grab this piece of code from here also, copy. And this order types also going to be needed. What I'm going to do, I'll just like grab these contents from here. All right, so I have seen a couple of comments also. Someone wrote like, I'm doing a lot of copy paste, and please forgive me if I'm just trying to save your time, then definitely I need to do so, right? But often, as you can see, we are doing pretty much live coding right here, right? And what we can do, let's try to copy all these things from here, copy, and let's go to here inside the source. And do we have any types directory right here, right? So I don't think we have a type directory. So let's try to create one, right? That is called types. Types, maybe, yeah, that's cool. And here I'm gonna open a kind of file that's called, maybe create a file, index.ts, right? And this is really good practice to keep all the files together inside the types. So we are going to create another type that is called the broker types.ts. All right, so here we are going to add all these types here. Then again, go here in order service. Let's try to grab the here, not this one, I think, not inside the broker. Go to type here, order type. All right, so all those things, like we can just grab it from here. Again, we are going to add all those things here as well as, right? So I think these are the stuff initially we need here, right? Then subscription is cool. Then index, yeah. Finally, we need to export all this stuff also here in index, right? So let's try to export star from broker types, right? So right now we can just refer to these types. Then we can access all the types, declare types right here in the broker types. So first of all, let's try to grab like what are the things we can do it here. So first of all, this one, the order. This is not order event anymore, right? This is going to be catalog event, because it is our order service. That's why everything's tied up to order event. And this is our catalog service. So let's try to make it the catalog event, right? So what we can say, catalog event, right? Catalog event, catalog, right? Catalog event, right? And this is also catalog events. That's cool. And this is going to be catalog event, right? And order status, this is perfectly fine. We are going to tweak like whenever it is going to necessary. But as of now, we are interested on these two events only: create order and the cancel order. These are the two, right? And if you see here inside this order service, if you go to this broker right here inside the service, broker service, and you can see like we are only subscribing the order events, right? So while our broker are going to listen, all right, it is if someone is firing something, then someone some other service, all right, they are dedicating that particular events to whom? To order service, all right? To all these events going to be like categorized as a kind of order events. So those events has to be go to the destination as a destination. It has to go to these order events. And similar way, whenever we are pushing something like, and as you can see, like we are creating these order messages, right? There's send the create order or send the cancel order, and where we are sending it out, which topic exactly? It's catalog event. So this is pretty clear. Like while our broker is going to subscribe, then particular service events only we are going to subscribe, right? It doesn't matter like where you are firing. Only order events is responsible to listen to order events, and the similar way catalog events is going to be responsible for listening to catalog event. So those are the things we are going to cover right now. So let's go ahead here, and right now this types is okay, right? Let's go to our broker. Let's go to our API. API is not required at all, right? So because from our catalog service, we are not calling any kind of like synchronization call, right? So we don't need to call any other service from there, right? So already I have explained in the diagram, right? Today I'm not going to touch the diagram, that's for sure, right? Let's try to delete this file from here. And inside the broker type, it's perfect. Right now, it is complaining because this is not order event anymore. This is going to be our catalog event, right? And catalog event. And rest of all, we are just like keeping as it is, right? And let's close this out also, right? Index file, we no need to touch. Maybe this one we need to remove from here because it's already, we have removed the API file. And go to message broker. And here also, what we need to do, we need to install Kafka.js because the catalog service doesn't have a Kafka.js at all, right? So let's try to install. And whether we are inside this catalog service, no, we are inside the order service. So let's switch back to maybe what we can do. Let's try to open under a terminal, right? So let's try to close this one. Then here, okay. So if I'm gonna close, then both of the terminals are getting closed. So cd. All right, cd catalog service, and here, all right, so yarn add Kafka.js, right? So this is what we need to add, right? This is added right now. So maybe somehow it is complaining, right? So declaration, I think it's gone right now. It's installed, right? So now this is not order event again. So let's try to fix all the errors first. Maybe then we can jump like one by one. This is going to be our catalog event, right? And somewhere also we have added that one, the event, I think this one as a catalog event, right? So catalog event, right? So cool. So now everything is handled right there, but here for the consumer, this is not order event. This is again, it's going to be catalog events, right? So if it is not catalog events, then we are not consume at all, right? So this is what we can do. Maybe we can list it out the topic, whatever the topic we are going to subscribe from this service, then we can add it to as a kind of array. Maybe what we can do something like this. Let's say, just to try to optimize this code maybe. All right, so here again we can add one more, let's say catalog or something, or other let's say other events. All right? Then we can say includes, right? Includes the topic, right? If it is not, so what was the condition? If not equal, right? Not, right? If it is not, then maybe we can like return from here, something like that. Right now we don't have any other events. Let's try to do like this. So we have opportunity here. We can just keep as many as events right there, and includes, we can check it out. If it is matching, then only we are going to follow. And otherwise, if it doesn't match right here, then just like, leave it from here. We are not gonna consume at all. So far, all looks good here. And this is create topic. Also, we can say like, this is not going to order events anymore. This is going to be catalog events, because each service is responsible to create its own topic only. From our catalog service, we are not going to create the order topics, right? This is only responsible for creating the all those particular stuff. And you can see like in a group ID, why group ID is needed and why client ID is needed. Already I have explained on the time of the integration of our message broker, right? So group ID is going to help you out, like in how many brokers you have just created for your different instance, right? It's going to group together so it can be distribute all the messages among all the instances. So that means you'll be not ended up with consuming the same message by different brokers, right? Different your instances. So that's why we are just using this group ID. So right now what we can do, we can just like say catalog service, and the similar things we can say the catalog service group, right? Localhost 9092, that is perfectly fine. So we have the proper configuration here right now. And cool. So our broker is set, right? So we can like fairly implement all this broker stuff. But as you can see here in the order service, we have implemented our broker. If you go to Express app right here, you can see we are initializing broker, and we have our broker, dedicated broker service, and you can see all these things are written in very functional way. All these things, can you see? This is export as a kind of function again, right? So all these things we are trying to pretty much write the functional programming right here. But this is not the case. It's happening with the catalog service. If you go to catalog service, if you go to, as an example, just check it out in the routes, right? So here we are just like, yeah, this is really function. That's perfectly fine. But you can see this catalog service is a kind of class, right? So if you go to catalog service, right here, and you can see this is a purely class, right? So where we are injecting our dependencies, we have all the instances, right? All the private functions right there, or private or public, whatever. And Eventually the catalog repository also something similar, just like we are creating interface, and like we are just to try to follow some kind of a class pattern here. So right now we can implement the message broker similar way we did for our order service. But how we will do that, right? So in this case, let's try to create the handed the responsibility to a message broker class. The similar way we just like created in our here in the order service, just like our broker service, right? This is purely a bunch of functions. And what we can do right here, we are going to create a class, right, which is going to handle everything together, right? So let's go ahead here inside the service, and we can say like, create one service. This is called broker.service.ts, right? All right, so here inside this broker service.ts file, let's try to create a class that is called the broker service, right? Right. So here inside this broker service, we need to add a couple of things. The way we did for our the broker service inside this order service, we need to add our producer, consumer, and the message handler as well as. So in this case, let's try to add some code quickly. So now we have our producer and consumer. So why we are putting null? Because we don't want to initialize this consumer and producer on the time of initialization of the service, like unless we are initializing broker externally, right? Because on the time of creating the class, we don't want to connect to our consumer or producer. While it is needed, then only we are going to do. That's why we have just added the producer as a kind of null, right? And consumer also as a kind of null, right? So now here is a kind of thing, like how we are going to handle the message handlers. And if you see here in the order service, if you go to broker service, this class, this particular module, and you can see here we are providing this handle subscription, and handle subscription inside this order service is a kind of function, right? It's a kind of individual function where we are exporting this function like out of the box, right? So it is not tied up together. But in our case, right? So here inside the catalog service case, how we are going to handle that one, right? So we should have to have that particular flexibility as well as, right? So in this case, let's go ahead here in the catalog service, right? So this is our catalog service where we need to expose that particular handler message as well as, right, somewhere, right? Maybe let's try to add one message right here. This is called async, async handle messages, let's say, right? Handle broker messages, or broker notification messages. In our case, let's say broker message, right? So here we are going to handle everything, right? And as of now, there are no any use. That's perfectly fine, but somehow we are going to use this one. So let's go to here broker service. So in this case, we need to access this message here. Let me close this file. This message, then certainly we need to have the reference of our catalog service, right? So let's try to have a reference of the catalog service right here as well as. So in this case, private catalog service, maybe catalog service, and this catalog service will be our catalog service. Yes, right. And you can see catalog services, we are not initializing anything right here. Can you see we're not providing anything as a kind of null, right? Because this catalog service, we need to it has to be similar instance, just like if you go here in the, let me close everything from order service, inside the catalog routes, can you see this catalog service? We need to pass it on. Then it's gonna work, because we don't wanna create multiple instances and it's going to handle different way. We don't want to do that. So this catalog service, somehow we need to inject right there. So that's why we have just added this one individually, and we're going to initialize these things on our constructor. You can say catalog service is catalog service, right? Then we are going to initialize this one from here, right? So right now our initialization part is done, like producer and consumer is okay. Catalog service also we have right now on the time of the constructor it's gonna create. Right now what we are going to do, we will be write another function to initialize this message broker, right? The way we did for our order service. So let's go ahead and do that one. Public async async initialize broker, right? And initialize broker, right? So now inside initialize broker, what we are going to do, we are going to do the similar thing. If you go to here inside this order service once again, and if you see here in the broker service, these are the things we are going to do, right? So let's grab all those things, right? Rather than like spending time on the typing. And now you can see we have our producer. This producer, what we are going to do, this is not const producer. We are not going to create again. This is, we are going to say this producer. And here also we are going to say this consumer. Come on. This consumer, right? And message broker, definitely we need to import like from our util. Right now the producer, what exactly say this producer? Yeah, right. And because we're not using like in a functional way. That's why it is inside the class scope. So we need to use this. And similar things gonna happen for this as well as right now, right? And you can see right now it is complaining like handle subscription. So in this case, what we are gonna do here, we'll be going to say this, the catalog service, right? Catalog service, and catalog service what? Catalog service will be handle broker message, right? So right now, can you see like it's complying? Like we have our message broker, we are going to initialize, and we can just like, you know, subscribe our message, but this is not order events. This is going to be catalog. C capital catalog events, right? And in additionally, what we can do, we can just like per our send message or the similar way we did for our broker service in our order service, we can the way like, you know, we have just a send create order message or something that is also we can just create it here, right? If it is needed. As an example, public, definitely we need to mark it as kind of public, otherwise you will not be able to access those things, right? Let's say async send, let's say send whatever, maybe delete product message, right? So I'm assuming like this the catalog service can have similar kind of functionality. Let's say one of the product is going to discontinue, all right? So we are going to delete from our catalog service or inventory. Then we need to pair this message to order service or maybe cart somewhere. Let's say if some customer has been already added that particular product, they have to receive a kind of notification like, hey, this product is not going to be available anymore. You have added this product and you have added so long for your cart, but right now we are not selling this one. This is going to be discontinued. So this is also the catalog service responsibility, where catalog service is going to power a kind of event. So right now we are not going to handle or cover that one. That's why we just like, you know, I'm leaving up to you, right? Maybe publish delete product or maybe discontinue product. This discontinue product event, right? So this is how like, you know, all the inventory systems are deprecating the product, right? So right now our broker service is cool. It's gonna work. And now let's go ahead and here inside this what is the best place exactly? It has to be initialized, because if you see here in the order service, all right, go to Express app. This is the place where we have the initialized broker, because this initialized broker, the broker service is not required any kind of like, you know, what is called dependencies. If you go to broker inside broker, and it is using this similar, the handle subscription already been exported from our order service, right? Right now, what is gonna happen right now here? If the broker service here inside this catalog service, we need to initialize this one, then it's needed the catalog service. The base place will be not like the Express app, because Express app, we don't have that particular instance, right? So inside this catalog route, this is the best place ever, where we are going to, we'll be having this catalog service from here as well as, and we can maybe, we can just like utilize that one, right? Again, you can imagine like we can, because right now here we are exporting again the catalog service. So you can utilize in the Express app. Again, you can see we are importing from our catalog route again, then we are doing all this stuff. That is also can be possible, or maybe we can directly use from here as well as. That's like another way around it's gonna work, right? So let's try to keep it simple, because we have only one route, right? So if we have multiple routes or multiple in terms of like, you know, the services exactly it's needed by your broker service, right? Let's say your catalog service, and then one again it will be come right after catalog service maybe. Let's say maybe inventory or maybe stock. If you have multiple service, then definitely this catalog routes, this is not going to be right place. Maybe somewhere you need to place here inside this here. Maybe you need to extract, you need to just like, get access of this particular service from by just simply exporting this one like this. And this similar way you can just initialize here, right? You can utilize that one. But in our case, only one, so it doesn't make sense at all like that way. So let's try to do that. So what we are going to do, let's try to import from, right? From, we can say services, and we can say broker service, right? And here we will say broker service, and we will be going to create a similar kind of instance, just like, const broker service, new broker service. And you can see like, we are injecting this one as a kind of here, right? So a new catalog service. We are not using a kind of new keyword to create a new instance. We are just like reusing this catalog service instance, which is going to use right here as well as all the way down to whatever the routes we have present right now. Everything is using this similar instance, right? So, and finally, what we are going to do, broker service dot initialize broker. Cool. So now as soon as we are going to start our application, then it is going to initialize broker, where it will going to connect to our producer, connect to consumer, and it is started listening to the catalog event, right? Cool. Then what we can do right now, like I think everything is cool right now. Everything is connected. All right. So let's try to close all the files, and we're gonna spin our application, right? So first of all, let's go ahead to the broker. Maybe I'm gonna start the broker. Let me make it a little bit bigger. All right. So here we can say, all right. So now let's try to switch our directory. Right now we are inside this catalog service, right? So let's go ahead one step further, and we'll be checking it out. What are the directories we have right now? Yeah, we have broker, right? So cd broker, and inside broker we can just like say docker compose out, right? So we just want to see all the logs. That's why we are not running inside the in detached mode, all right? In the background, we are just like running on the foreground. So at least we can determine whether something is there or not. So first of all, let's try to connect our order service. So inside the order service, is everything is okay or not? So let's go to our Express app, and let's see, maybe I'm gonna make it a little bit smaller. And initialize broker, we have everything right here. We have order events, catalog events, all right, all these things are cool. And inside the routes, let's go to our order routes. And if you're creating the order, then create order is getting called. Then it is just like going through all these things, and it is creating the order. Then definitely we need to publish these things from here, right? So that is also we are going to do shortly. So let's try to at least try to connect, like whether we are able to connect our service or not. So in this case, what we are going to do here inside this broker. So inside the broker, here maybe we can just leave a message. Let's say it's not directly producer connected. We can say order service producer connected successfully. Then the similar thing we are gonna say for our consumer also, order service consumer. Then let's close all the files, and let's go to our catalog service as well as we're gonna do the same, because otherwise we will get to know like which one is getting connected, because it's a meaningful logs, right? So that is definitely makes sense to add all the stuff. So go to broker service again. Here also we are gonna say on here we will say catalog service producer connected, catalog service producer connected copy, and here also, right? So let's try to connect right now. Yarn dev, right? And here also we're going to say yarn dev, right? So can you see like it's saying order service connected? You can see like producer connected with the new consumer. That's cool. Yeah, order service consumer connected, producer connected to the connection. Okay, so it looks like there are no any errors, right? And the similar things also here. We can see yeah, catalog consumer is connected, right? And producer connected with a new connection. This is also cool, right? And you can see like both of the services giving the existing topics. It's catalog events, right? So order events, right? Catalog events, order events. Yeah, because I did a maybe spelling mistake. That's why it's saying catalog, right? It has to be catalog, and this is also same, right? But anyway, ignore all the stuff. Right now we can see our both of these services are getting connected, right? So somehow we need to fire a kind of event. So at least we need to grab all these events here, right? In the catalog service, while we are going to send something from our order service. But we don't have a user service so far, right? So let's go ahead and user service, open the user service. Let's switch back to user service, maybe user cd, user service, right? Yeah. Then let's try to install everything. Okay, yarn dev. Cool. So it is running on the port 9000. Let's go to our Postman. And here inside the Postman, let's go to our auth service here and go to here in the sign in, right? Sign up maybe. Already we have the user created in our one of the previous episode. Let's try to do login, right? So let's try to do login. And we have already script that is going to assign the authentication token to our main directory. So that means like in our catalog and order can have the similar user, right? So let's try to go to our catalog service. Let's try to get all the products from here. Get all the products. So right now we have two products, right? Product ID 1 and product ID 2. And if we go here in the order section, let's try to get the card. If we have any card, then maybe we can utilize that one. All right, so we have one card right there, right? Already. So let's try to create an order from this one. We are assuming we have successfully received our payment. Then we need to trigger that to the create order endpoint, right? So this is the create order endpoint. And you can see we are not sending anything. Maybe transaction number, we are sending it out, right, as a kind of post call. That's definitely, you can send it out also, or maybe you can directly store that transaction number on while we will be receive the successful payment to sort in maybe somewhere in the database. Then order service maybe while we are going to call this endpoint, then it can be retrieved to the transaction number. Either you can post to throw it here throw the post call maybe in the body. Or maybe you can store in somewhere where we can patch it out, right? So in our case, we don't have any payment integration service right now. So we are gonna send these things as a kind of post data. So let's go here in the source code, right? So let's check it out where we are making this particular call. Here inside the order service, let's go to our routes, right? So order route, and this is the call where we are just making the call, right? So create order function. And you can see we are finding out the card, and we are just aggregating everything, and finally we are just creating the order. So as of now, what we are gonna do, we are not gonna store all the data because we need to validate the first. Let's try it out, like let's check it out whether we have this what is called the connection is getting cleared or not. First of all, let's try to do that, right? So in this case, what we are gonna do, we will be sending out this order number, right? Maybe await, right? Publish order event, not publish order event. This is gonna be our message broker, right? So where we will be going to send the message, right? Then go to our message broker service. So where exactly, I'm gonna close all this stuff from here. Inside the broker service, what we need to do, we need to just send the create order message, right? Rest of all the things we are gonna pass it from here, right? Send create order message. So the similar thing we are gonna do here, like as soon as we are creating all this stuff, then await, send, create order message, right? It's coming from the broker service. And what are the inputs we have right now? We have the data, right? So as a kind of data, we are gonna pass it on the order input plus, right, the order number we have, the order number we have right now here, right? And I think line items also, order line items also here, right? So I think everything is there, right? So while we are sending this message, we can see data, we need to pass it on. The rest of all the things are okay, right? Cool. Then let's try it out, right? So once we are gonna send this message, then definitely our catalog service need to listen to that one, right? So let's go there. Line items, do we have the line items or product ID? Yeah, we have the product ID here. Then go to catalog service here, and inside this this service, go to our broker service, and this is going to listen to this. Once the catalog events is going to raise, all right, then it will subscribe to that one, and it will transfer all these things to our handle message broker. inside this handle message broker, what we are going to do, we will be going to accept all these things right here. Let's say console. First of all, let's try to console log all the data from here. Catalog service received the messages data, right? And maybe this is the first case. Maybe we can test it out. Let's try to test it out. So what we're gonna do, I'm not sure like whether our application got refreshed or not. All right, so let's try to spin once again. Sometimes like Node.js is not be able to refresh due to some situations while we are having this kind of like third-party libraries we are integrating. It's doing the job 100%, but still we need to just like make sure all the changes has taken place. So now let's go here in the Postman. We're going to call this a create order call, right? Create order. I think it's refused the call. So why exactly it's refusing? Let's debug it together. So here, let's try to close orders and orders. It's a post call. This is fine, right? 9002 right now it's spinning, I think. Let's try it out once again. All right, so yeah, it says that I am healthy. Why I am healthy? It shouldn't supposed to send the I am healthy, right? Somehow it is going there, like, you know, Express app. It is coming here, I think, right? So somehow it is not be able to go to that to the order routes, I think, right? So order routes, the orders, right? So let's go here. We'll see. Okay, so no, oh, okay. This is, can you see like this is orders, and we are just to try to send order. That's why actually it's not be able to reach to that the particular route. So right now it should have to, right? Cool. It says order created successfully. When we have order number as well as. And if we see the logs right here, if you can see, it is sending all the stuff, right? The response, all the data, we are sending it out, right? And our catalog service, can you see catalog service received the message, right? This is the event of the create order event. And we have the order data, order number, transaction ID, we are not sending it out, and order status, customer ID, and order items also we are receiving here, right? So this is really makes sense, right? So inside the order object, like we have everything. Right now we can go ahead and deduct this stock stuff right there, right? So that is what we can do. So let's go ahead here inside the catalog service. Let's see like how we can handle this request. So if we see the data exactly, we have the data and message can have everything. Let's try to decouple, like deconstruct everything from there. From the order service, go to our broker service here. And we're pretty much sending this similar stuff from here, the data, and this data exactly we're sending it any. So let's go here in the order service, and inside the order service, so this is the payload exactly, order with the line items, right? So maybe what we can do, we can just like, you know, grab all the whole piece of code from here, right? Copy, and this order with the line items, maybe we can grab this one, right? This one, line item input, all of these things from here, order request DDO. Let's go to the types here, catalog service, inside the catalog service, and type, inside the type. So here we are going to introduce one more type. This is going to be like message type, message type.ts. All right, so here we are not interested everything, right? So created and updated order ID, we are not interested. Only what we are interested, only the quantity, all right? See, the product ID and the quantity is going to be needed from here, right? Maybe ID is fine. And here also we are going to say only created at all these things are not required. Amount also we don't care. Order number, maybe it's going to be needed, but let's see, all right? So customer ID also, it doesn't make sense for us. Only the order line items. So order with the line items is perfectly fine for us, right? So that means while we are sending these things as a kind of the order, all right, this message, right? So it is a kind of data, is a kind of message. So maybe we can directly send like this rather than sending this one. Then we no need to deconstruct everything like going down the line by accessing the order. Or maybe directly we can, it's up to you, like, you know, what are the convenient way for you. So in my case, I don't want to go one step deeper, all right? So I just want to access the data, and data has to access like all these things, only maybe order items, maybe order number, and all those things maybe we can access, right? So let's go ahead here in the catalog service, So here, what we will do, we will handle the data at any, right? So in this case, let's try to const the order data. Order data will be data, right? You can say message also, right? Rather than saying data, and message.data, right? So message.data, as we can just like convert all these things to as we can say order with line items, right? So this is going to be precisely gonna work, I think. So now maybe we can just like patch it out, order data, all the line items, order items maybe, right? Order items, yes, order items. And then we will be going to for each, let's say, order item for each, right? Then we will say console update stock for the product ID, right? So maybe we can just like put one more item, the quantity, right? So this is the way maybe we are just like try to find it out, like which one we need to deduct. So here we are going to perform stock operation, stock update operation. So here, while we are not creating the order, it doesn't make sense for us for a while to creating the order unless we are fixing this one, the update stock, the functionality, right? This operation we need to fix it out. So let's try to do that one, right? So at least again we are going to call the service. So we will see like what are the products we have right now, right? To fix it out. And so let's go ahead here to the postman again just to try to call this one. You can see right now the order is created successfully again, and we can see a bunch of printing also. It's there like, yeah, so it has a couple of logs, but not be able to determine like what other things are we have just created. Maybe we need to somehow we need to yeah, updated stock product ID. Can you see like only one, because we have only one product, that's why it says product ID 1 and deduct 1. So let's try to do that, right? So here what we are going to do, do we have any update product product stock, right? So which one we are calling for updating the stock? So we have, there are two functions we are doing, right? One is from vendor side, like directly admin can directly edit the stock, right? This is the function that is we can utilize, right? And another way, while we'll be received the create order functionality, like create order events, then also we need to update the product, right? The stock. So let's see, like in the API, so which function we are getting called? Pets, yeah, update product ID, right? So here, what we are doing right here, we're simply updating input, update. I think in the repository we have all the stuff, right? So go to our catalog repository. Yes. Update data. Okay, so whatever the data we just like to try to update, that is we are just passing here as a kind of product, right? So let's try to do that. So what we are gonna do here, again, let's go to our catalog service, and here we will be going to say update input, and what are the inputs we are sending from here? Maybe we can just figure out by visiting our API. Here, let's go to our API and update product request. So what we are sending here, we are sending the stock, right? Name, description, and price. So we are only interested in the stock, all right? So what we need to do, we need to just send the stock. So, but can you see right now here, while we are updating the stock, right? So in the catalog service, right? Because we need to somehow get the product details first, right? Get the product details first, then we need to just deduct that particular stock. So let's try to do that together, right? So what we're going to do here, let's say const the product will be await, find one item by product ID, right? This is the same thing exactly. Rather than directly calling the repository, maybe get product ID also can be possible. So let's try to use this one, the get product item. We have the product right now. then we will see like if product is not found, then product not found. Maybe we can just like send the error, but it doesn't make sense because this is a kind of asynchronous call, right? Still we can just like log it right here, console.log product not found, right? So product not found error during stock update, right? Product not found during stock update for create order. All right, so maybe we can just like log this one, something like this way. And if everything is going well, or here, if this is the thing, then maybe we can just like continue, right? So we can just say continue, right? If there is a kind of error, we can just like continue from here, right? Or I think it's not required. Continue is not required, I think, from here, right? So we can, we don't need to return at all right? Otherwise else, right? Else we can do like product stock minus, right? Stock is read-only property. All right, product stock. All right, so product stock item dot quantity. Let's say we can say const updated stock, right? And here we will be assigning this maybe the stock, which is called product, and the stock will be updated stock. Yeah, this is the way maybe we can just update all the stuff. So here in the handle broker message, we have added all the necessary codes. So we are just to try to check it out all the order items first, all right? Then we're just to try to find it out on the product, existing product. And if the product exists, right? If product doesn't exist, then it will do nothing. And if the product exists, right? Then it is going to update the stock, and it is going to deduct the stock, then it will update the stock from here, right? And definitely, because here we no need to check like whether we have the current product stock or not, right? So maybe we can have a check also right before create the order, because already we have a stock validation before creating the order. That is already we have added in our routes, right? That is already we have explained in our previous episodes. So now let's give it a try with all these things. Like we will try to create an order and we will see like how these things gonna work. Let's go to our Postman. Then again, what I'm gonna do, like let's try to click on the get card, and we have the get card. Let's go to our create order once again, right? So here in the create order, so we will try to create the order, all right? So order is created, all right? And you can see our application has got crashed, right? So why? So I'm gonna explain like in a while why the application got crashed. You can see from our order perspective, everything is cool. Like in our order microservices working well, our user service also working well. That means like you can create as many as the order from there, right? So our catalog service, though it is down, still it's not going to interrupt the user experience, right? So why exactly it's broken right now? Can you see it says they cannot read the property undefined of reading get product. That's true, because it's not be able to do that. So we forgot something to do, right? So let's go here in the catalog service. And if you go to the catalog routes, you can see like we are calling this initialize broker, right? Because this is not a kind of class, right? So this is a kind of outside of the class. We are just initializing all these things. And we are inside this initialize broker because it's a kind of instance of that particular broker service, right? So catalog service handle message broker. Still, this is not binded with our message broker call. That is the problem exactly. It's happening like if you are using the functional programming and you no need to bind at all. You just, because that particular function is already outside of the scope and it is already exported. That's why it can be accessible from here. And in this case, to make it accessible, what we need to do, we need to bind it, right? So we need to bind, right, this catalog service. So because it's a kind of catalog service, again, it's a kind of instance inside the broker service. That is what exactly it says. I'm gonna leave up to you, like, why this bind and why these things gonna work. Maybe I can just like shoot another video to make you understand all of the scopes. So right now, let's give it a try. All right. So let's try to restart our application. All right. All right. Cool. And let's try to restart our this one order service as well as, right. And let's go to our Postman, and here we will see like get stock details, like 1 or 2, right? So maybe we can just like get stock for only one product item, right? Yeah. And now again we are going to create our one of the order, right? So let's try to clean all the mess from here, right? So here as well as, and maybe here as well as, Okay, it's coming back like it's periodically it is looking of all the logs. So let's try to create the order. So right now we are gonna create the order. Order is created. If you see the logs, then you can see the order is created. Right now, updating the stock product 111. Then if you go here, go to get stock details, it has to be update our stock right now. Can you see stock is updated, right? Let's try to create one more order, let's say, right? This is fun, right? So let's try to create one more. 1, 2. So right now 2 more order has been created. So all of the order, can you see like as soon as we are created the order, it is triggering that particular update stock functionality as well as. So now if you go here and the stock details, then it has to be like stock has to come down to 2. Can you see stock is 2. Cool. So this is the way all the e-commerce stuff, like it's working, all the microservices are working with each other to updating the stock. So I know like this is really very long and boring lecture, but still what we can do maybe in the next episode, we are going to create the order. Then we are going to put our hands on the deployment part. But right before deployment, we can see here inside this catalog service, catalog routes, we have something very special to implement. Not here maybe. Go to our Express app and in the server, right? So where we have, okay, so we have not added anything right here. Apologize, my bad. So we are going to introduce the how we can index part we can handle with the help of like Elasticsearch and all those things we are going to implement. And definitely this is going to be really fun. Just a kind of missing piece we are going to add. And we will be next episode we are going to prepare our applications just for a deployment as well as, so we can see like how Kafka things are gonna work in the real life, right? In the deployment in the production environment. And we will be going to use some kind of like third-party library. But before that, we need to handle this this creation part also, where in the order service we are going to uncomment all these things, and we will be making sure like once the order has been created, then only it's going to fire this message. And another case also we need to cover when the order got canceled, right? If somehow order will get canceled, then definitely our catalog service need to handle all this stuff and correctly, right? So I'm leaving up to you all this stuff. Like if you just want to give it a try, maybe you can do that one. Like if order is got canceled, then maybe just like instead of the stock -1 or maybe stock minus quantity, then you can just like revert back all the stock, and again you need to update the product stock as well as. Cool. I hope you have enjoyed this video tutorial, and definitely there are only just like few episodes are left, and you have already a couple of people just asking me when this series is going to be finished. Definitely there are only few episodes, or maybe not more than 3. And there are an exciting news also. We have like we have another course already been we have recorded, but this time we are not going to like release one by one episodes. We will be finished a whole series completely. It's about to finish, and once that is finished, then we will be going to release everything together. And that is a kind of like, maybe it's going to be a spoiler, but still you'll be able to learn a lot of advanced stuff right there in that the new series, and that is related to Node.js definitely. But we are using some different framework this time. Cool. Then I would like to see you in another episode. Bye bye.